We've all seen the heartbreaking images of Ukrainian refugees having to flee their homes due to the Russian invasion.
According to the United Nations, more than 11 million people are believed to have fled their homes since the conflict began.
Many countries are playing their part and helping to rehouse those displaced families, and the UK has been no exception. The Homes for Ukraine scheme saw more than 80,000 people across the UK register their interest to host a refugee on the first day it was launched last month. Well, to find out what it's like to have taken in a Ukrainian family, I'm pleased to be joined by Sally Birch, who took in Natalia and Ilona. Sally, why did you decide that you wanted to go the whole hog and take somebody in? I mean, lots of people say, you know, I think I'll do it, and then they don't. What made you go the whole hog and actually take in two people from Ukraine?
OK, so I think on St George's Day, Philip, that's a really good question. So St George kind of embodies English chivalry and doing the right thing. So the weekend the scheme was launched by Michael Gove, I was battling with a pretty horrible bout of COVID and feeling very sorry for myself. But I watched the news on the Sunday evening and it just really struck me that I should try and do something. Now, doing something and thinking of doing something are two separate things. So on the Monday, I determined that I would do something. So I made the decision to reach out and try and hook up with a family in the Ukraine, thinking as a parent that if that was my daughter in that situation, I would hope that like-minded people across the globe would do the same thing. You know, we have a strong tradition in Britain of offering sanctuary to people who genuinely need it. People are entitled to lead free lives and to aim for prosperity. And sadly, the war in Ukraine has robbed people of that ability. And I think it's good that we can try and offer that ability back to them. I live in Bradford, which is the second largest Ukrainian community in the UK. Most people don't know that. Outside of London, it is the second largest. And we are a city of sanctuary. So it felt incumbent on me to do the right thing.
And how did you find the process? I mean, obviously there was lots of criticism about how the process was really slow. How did you find the process, and how did you match yourself up with Ilona and Natalia? How did that work?
OK, so in terms of the matching, it's a bit like the world's worst online dating. So the social media have done a brilliant job. I know they get a lot of vilification, and rightly so, but in this instance, social media has been a godsend. So I reached out with my details on that Monday, and Natalia and Ilona reached out to me, and we had lots of chats that day online. We did a video call that evening. We decided that we were compatible. And so the following day I submitted 2 visa applications. So I think, you know, in the online dating world, we went from first date to marriage in 24 hours, which I think is quite successful. But in terms of the process, I understand the criticisms and I felt intense frustration at the process being seemingly very slow. However, these things have to be done in the right way for the protection of everybody. So not just for the protection of Ilona and Natalia, but also for the protection for the hosts as well. So the checks are essential. I think with anything like this, it's about managing expectations. So a lot of people heard talks of 48-hour turnaround. Well, realistically, with something like this, that's never going to happen. So I think expectations needed to be managed better. And also some more human touch points. So appreciating this was set up probably so quickly and so expeditiously, but the process of communication in terms of where you were in this kind of funnel of the application was pretty poor. But the intent of the UK government is perfect.
Sally, I can see that Natalia and Ilona are there. So can I ask them, what was the situation that you left? What's it like now to be in the UK?
Well, we left our homes because of the war, of the invasion, and we just didn't know what is going to be with our country, with our lives, with our homes, with our families, and about how it's gonna end, when it's gonna end, what life will it gonna be, and it just I don't know, we don't have the choices because it's every day it's getting worse and worse. The news are getting so I can imagine how it's. I'm sorry, my English is not very good.
Yeah. And listening to how you're speaking there, and I can see that in a way you're still grieving for Ukraine. How are you adjusting here? What are the things that you've got to do to be able to really get on in the UK? And does Natalia speak that much English? I mean, that's another thing, language barriers.
Yes, Natalia is speaking Polish, and I'm speaking English a little bit. So when we left our home, I'm from Kiev, and Natalia is my cousin. She is in the central Ukraine, but we were in the Kiev at that point, at the time the war started, and it became more disturbing. So we decided to go to our grandparents, and as she knows Polish, we decided, and I'm a little bit in English, we decided to go to the Polish-speaking country or English-speaking country. But the English-speaking countries, Canada, USA, Australia, is far away. And Warsaw the Poland is overcrowded. So we decided to pick the UK because of its simply visa application. We met the Sally, and she took all the commitment. We didn't have to do anything. We just gave her our documents, and she solved everything. Because the language barrier and the
Sally's your new mum.
Yes, she's amazing. She got it all. Like we didn't have to worry about nothing. Just how to get to the UK, and even this she also helped us. She get us an accommodation at the Poland because, as I was saying, it was overcrowded, and the Polish people are so supportive. They do a lot of help. They feed us. They make a lot of humanitarian help. They got a lot of clothes because we left our houses and we didn't know how much long is it gonna take. So we didn't take any clothes or any shoes or any food. And
Natalia, you're very welcome in the UK. We hope you enjoy your stay here, and obviously we hope things get better in the Ukraine for you soon so you can go back and meet up with your family. And Sally, thank you so much for what you're doing. You and many thousands around the country, we're all very proud of what you're doing. So thank you.
Oh, imagine that, leaving your home. No clothes, you don't know how long it's going to be, and your family behind. But, you know, they found the good one there with Sally, haven't they?